Do you like dinos and want to play a meta deck but don't have the money to spend? Well then look no further, because this deck is the deck for you. Hey guys, what's going on? This is the Rating Snail here, out to bring you a deck profile of the Lost World Dino deck. This deck is really competitive and it's really fun to play. I like the Ancient Gear deck better personally, but if you're looking something to just be on a nice competitive level and stay within your budget, this deck is excellent for it. There's a few choices that you can cut to play this deck, or obviously like the True King version is probably a bit more out of the budget range, but you can literally pick up 3 of the structure decks and go, which is amazing. I'm very happy Konami did this. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the profile. We start off with 3 drag tokens. This is the MVP, the most broken card of the entire deck. Absolute card. You get this card out, you can win the game. It's also got some awesome artwork. But moving on to the other cards, we play 3 of the Soul Eating Oviraptor. This card is kind of like the bread and butter of the deck. You draw it, you have it starting hand turn 1, you're pretty much good. Whenever you bring it out, you can search Dino or mill one right to the grave. And then on top of that, you can target a level 4 or lower Dino on the field and destroy it. And then you can bring out 1 Dino from your graveyard in defense position. And what some people don't know is if you have the new Ulti Conducto Tyranno in your graveyard and it's already been special summoned through its first condition, if it's in your graveyard, you can destroy something and then bring it out with Oviraptor. So pretty cool tech or combo, I guess, right there. An 1800 is not a bad amount of attack either. And then we also play 3 of the miscellaneous sources. These guys are fantastic. I'm really glad they got another reprint early on, which is kind of interesting though. But essentially, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard during either player's main phase, and all your dinos currently on the field are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So it's a really nice hand trap. It's got 18 attack too, which is amazing. And on top of that, you can banish him and other dinos to bring out 1 dino from your deck whose level is equal to the number of dinos you banished, which is really good for your Tyranno Infinity. We only play 1 of. You really don't want to see this guy ever. You just want to bring him out through miscellaneous source, so drawing him is kind of bad. But you can banish 4 cards, including miscellaneous source, bring him out, and you'll have a 4K beat stick ready to go. So awesome cards right there. 3 of the OG Babysaurus and 2 of the Petite Ranodon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Always had trouble with this one. But Babysaurus is the better one because when it's destroyed by card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower dino from your deck. Pterodon can do a level 4 or higher, but it can't attack the same turn. So that's kind of why we only play it at 2. And then, of course, the 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This guy is, I guess, your boss monster, you could say. Very hard to deal with if your opponent doesn't have an out to it. Once for an out player's turn, if you guys don't know what it does, I already kind of went into it for you. But you can destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and then you essentially Book of Moon all of your opponent's face-up monsters. And then he can also attack all face-down monsters. He can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And then if he does attack a defensive monster, you can immediately send it to the graveyard and your opponent takes 1,000 damage. So if you can Book of Moon 5 monsters, you can each swing at your opponent for 5,000 damage without really even destroying anything, essentially, because it just sends it, which is really nice. And then we, of course, also play 1 rabbit. And you can go into the new Megalomashosaurus or Megalomasher X. I just play 3 of the Sabersaurus. If you play the Mega Blaster, you could play the Tree Toad, or the Bahamut Shark Tree Toad version, but like I said, it's kind of more of a budget deck. And Sabersaurus is awesome because it's 1900 beater, and when we go into your spells, you'll see why it's even better than what it is right now. But yeah, just 1 rabbit and 3 of that, can't go wrong there. As for the spells, we of course play 3 Terraforming because you want to see Lost World as soon as possible, so 3 and 3. And Terraforming is not really a dead card in this deck because you have ways to get rid of it. But Lost World is kind of like your essential spell card. It's kind of like your only card you really need in this deck. It lowers the attack of all monsters except dinos by 500 each. So if you can get out Sabersaurus, it can really make him a really hard beat stick to go over. And Zeus can have a problem with that. And then if you normal summon special summon a dino, and it's not during the damage step, you can give your opponent that awesome drag token, or any other token really. But while they control a token, they can only target that card with card effects. So essentially, or they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects except tokens. So essentially, if you have, when your dino's out and your opponent wants to get rid of it or target it, they have to get rid of the token first. And then, of course, if a normal monster in the field would be destroyed by battle or card effects, such as your token, or, of course, your save resource, which is another reason why zoos have a big issue getting over this, you can destroy dinos in your hand or deck instead. And that's where, of course, the Petite and the Babyosaurus both have synergy, and then you get the advantage off of that as well. So Lost World is absolutely amazing, this deck. Definitely want to play it at 3, see as soon as possible. Other cards that we play at 3 are the 3 Fossil Dig. This is essentially search any dino. I don't know why it says level 6 or lower. I guess they made some other level higher dinos that you can search. But it's essentially just a Rhoda. This deck can lose to back row, so yeah, 3 Twin Twisters, and sometimes you want your dinos in the grave, so why not? 1 Dark Hole. Of course you can play Raigeki over this, but sometimes you can destroy your Petite or your Babyosaurus and then get their effects off too, so it's not bad. 1 Foolish to put certain things in the grave. You can put your Babyosaurus, you can put your Miscellaneous Saurus, and some other nice cards if you can set up your combos, so just 1. And that does it for spells. As for traps, we play 2 Survival Zen. I guess you could say this is a tech, really. I'm just trying this out. It's not a great card, but it's not a bad one either. What it does is you destroy as many normal monsters on the field as possible, so you can even destroy your opponents if they have any, I guess. And if you do, special summon level 4 lower dinosaur monsters from your deck up to the number of destroyed, but they are destroyed during the end phase. So you can bring out a bunch of monsters, and of course you bring out your little guys, they got their effects too, because they are destroyed during the end phase. And you can do this with your tokens, and if you don't want to get rid of the token that you give your opponent, you can always just destroy your dino instead. So that's kind of where this card kind of comes in handy also. And then you can also banish it from your graveyard, and then you target 1 dinosaur type monster and 1 card your opponent controls and destroy him. So it's got a double power right there. I just played 2 Geometry. I think this card is really good right now. It's an easy card to side out also, but giving your opponent 3 tokens that they can't really do anything with is nice, especially for all you Burning Abyss players still out there. I'm sure this card is still a problem to you guys, but of course it's also destroyed and they'll take damage, so that's a nice thing too. And they do count as normal monsters, so you can use the power of your dino effects also right there. And then just 1 warning to round off the lineup. Actually, the extra deck, I don't really play much of an extra deck because you really have all the options in the world. But 2 Lagia and 2 Dolka are the main Xyz you play. Lagia is essentially Solemn Judgment, and Dolka can negate monster effects. And they're really good beaters. And if you have Lost World on top or on the field, they're pretty hard to get over. And then since Babyosaurus and Petite are level 2, I guess you could play Sky Cavalry. You don't really want to overlay because you do want them to destroy my card effects, but yeah, you can play it. And then the other card I'm really liking in this deck, for the extra deck I should say, is Ragna Zero, because when you have Lost World out, it can lower its attack, but it'll also lower your opponent's attack, of course, because none of them are dinos. And you can always use Ragna Zero's effect to pop a card or pop a monster and then draw a card. So it's kind of a nice effect you can do with Lost World. And then, of course, to round out the extra deck, like I said, this is just a small extra deck because you can really play any rank monster, any fusion, or really any synchro, of course, as you see, even though I don't have any tuners. But yeah, just 1 Scarlight. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. I will see you guys later. Peace!